What 4 life hacks can save you? As we go through our lives, it's almost impossible for us to avoid the common injuries. Have you at some point gotten scrapes and cuts and found yourself without an available first aid kit? Well, you're not alone. Small mishaps happen to all of us at the time, and there are some surprisingly simple things you can do to get through. So here are the most common myths and what you should do in an emergency situation. Number 1. Stopping a bleeding. Have you accidentally tripped and fallen on the sidewalk? Or did you accidentally cut yourself? For shallow cuts and abrasions, even if you plan to visit a doctor, you need a trick to stop the bleeding using first aid at home first. So what can you do? A common myth is to use cayenne pepper. Well, don't. There is no proof to this cure by any scientific research. Instead, if you have it in your house, use petroleum jelly. Due to the wax texture of petroleum jelly, or Vaseline, applying a small smear of it to minor cuts will block off the blood flow outside of the skin and give the wound time to clot. In case you don't have petroleum jelly, you can also use your deodorant. Most deodorants or antiperspirants have aluminum chloride, which shrinks sweat glands and in turn tones down your sweating. The bonus is that this also constricts blood vessels too, helping form a clot and staunch bleeding. For severe cases, if you have a deep cut that is bleeding profusely, seek professional medical attention. Number 2. Healing a bruise. Bruising is a normal response to an injury. Tiny blood vessels beneath the skin can be damaged by even a small impact, leaving behind blood trapped beneath the skin. Bruises can be difficult to treat, as most of the damage is beneath the surface of the skin. However, there is a trick you can use to help speed up the healing. And guess what? It's not to use a hard-boiled egg, because rubbing it over a bruise may cause even more internal bleeding. Instead, to treat a bruise, use a pineapple. Pineapple contains the enzyme bromelain, which is a natural protein-digesting compound that helps to initiate or speed up normal reactions that occur in the body. When used on your skin, it helps to reduce inflammation and pain and breaks down the blood proteins that have coagulated to form the bruise. Number 3. Treating a splinter. A splinter might not seem like the most life-threatening condition, but unremoved splinters may embed themselves deeper in the skin and cause infection. The best way to deal with a splinter and get back to your day is to take care of it immediately. A common myth is that you can use baking soda to draw out the wood. In some cases, that's a bad idea. Adding baking soda with water may add extra moisture to your skin and make the wood split even more. Instead, a simpler home remedy for small splinters is to use white glue to pull out a splinter. Simply cover the area of skin around the splinter with glue and let it dry around the splinter. Once the glue is dry, peel it off. As long as the splinter is not too deep, it should come out quickly when you peel away the glue. This method is best used if the splinter is small and near the surface. Number 4. Closing a wound. Not sure if you've heard, but there is a myth that you can use ants to close wounds. Yes, you heard that right. As wild as that sounds, in some cultures, large ants are used to suture wounds. First, the ant is provoked so that it bites the 2 edges of a wound, pulling them together. Then, the insect's body is quickly removed, leaving behind the head, which acts as a clamp. Sounds bizarre, doesn't it? You can toss away any hygienic standards with this method. So instead, what can you do? Well, superglue was used to stop bleeding in the Vietnam War. However, they stopped using it because it's cytotoxic and is not good to have inside your body. The good news is that superglue was redesigned to be medically safe. Dermabond and Vetbond are medically safe glues that are almost as strong as stitches and can prevent a trip to the emergency room for stitches. These glues work best with clean cuts, not jagged or dirty ones. Please like this video if you found this helpful and share your home remedy first aid stories in the comments. Also, don't forget to click subscribe on the Curious Path to keep your curiosities engaged.